Hello, and welcome to a broadcast produced by Friends of Terry Virgil. I'm Terry Virgil, your host and producer. Today's episode is Matthew 22, verse 17 through 21. And when we get down to it, it seems like it's something to cooperate here a little bit, especially these computers. This is not exactly the right thing. But let's read from Matthew 22:17, verse 21. Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay the imperial taxes to Caesar or not? But Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, You hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Show me the coin used to pay taxes. They brought him a denarius and asked them, Whose image is on this inscription? Caesar's, they replied. Then he said unto them, So give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God. And we're going to go through today's episode with this much. He has given you a choice. God tells you to render unto Caesar and pay your taxes, which is true and the right thing to do. Now, the other thing that you need to understand is this. The choice that God gives you is the liberty and freedom. These verses 17 through 21 speak about liberty and freedom. And yes, it's good to pay the taxes because that's how governments run. They have to run on some kind of revenue. They can't just magically produce the money that they need unless you are Mr. Obama or Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders or a liberal or a communist or a socialist. They like to produce income that they do not have and raise taxes onto the poor more than anything else and anybody that's in poverty to pay for their programs. We also have a couple other things here that run into this, and I've been speaking about it a lot lately too. And people are wondering, why do I always bring this up? Well, there's a real fact. It's called those that are liberal say that you have to do this. You have to do that. Especially the ones that believe in sexual immorality. You see, I'm putting the thing that goes to this. If you want to be sexually immoral, God says go ahead. And that's just it. And here's the other thing too. If God tells you to do one thing, and you have to do the opposite because of the government, that's a choice that you have to make. In a lot of cases, what you need to do is have civil disobedience on that subject. God gives you that choice. Just because we're talking about taxes in Matthew 22:17 through 21 does not imply it's only about taxes. I hear a lot of ministers preach on this subject, and that's what they talk about. Just taxes only. But they don't look at the full picture. Including my own pastor has done this. You got to look at the whole picture. What is God saying here? God's saying you have the choice. You have the choice to be either sexually immoral or moral through having a traditional marriage between just one man and one woman. And that's it. So the other thing is that we have to talk about is this much. Do you have to listen to the dictators like Obama or the ones that are trying to be dictators like Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders when it comes to the election here in the United States of America? And if you notice, I haven't put a Republican here there's a reason why. Because I've been scanning through everything and examining everything that both parties have been saying. I've been looking at a couple other things too. In 1776, God gave the United States of America a choice. Either to go with freedom and liberty or not. So this debate over freedom and liberty is not a new one. It's been around for more than 5,000 years. Actually, almost 6,000 years. That's as old. When I mentioned 6,000 years, that is the actual, or as close to the actual age of the earth that you're going to get. It's not millions or billions of years old like those that are full of manure. But here's the one thing. God said it best when you have to make a choice. You either follow him or you don't. That is why we stress this so much on liberty and freedom in these cases. You heard me speak against the United Nations and their idea of Agenda 21 and the Sustainable Development Agenda and the Obama's TPP or whatever it's called, TPA or whatever it's called. You got to make a choice. You got to make a choice. You either follow God or you follow evil. That's just it. And yes, Obama is part of the evil, so is the UN. It's all evil. I shouldn't have said part. It is evil. Hillary Clinton is doing and trying to promote evil. Bernie Sanders is promoting evil. I can name other names too here, but I don't have enough time in this program to name everybody on that long list of evils. Matter of fact, you could be a liberal and a Democrat or a socialist or a communist listening to this program. If you are, you're promoting evil. You're saying that you have to be evil, force evil. Take a look at Obamacare. There is nothing in the original documents that talk about health insurance. I don't have health insurance. I don't plan on getting any for a couple simple reasons. Number one, being civil disobedient is the answer. You can't force a person to do it. Matter of fact, when I filled out my income tax this year, the question came about, do you have insurance? My answer was no. Well, then you're going to end up paying a fine. I said, good. I haven't seen nothing on paper that says anything about a fine. Because they have to take and serve me to go to court. Because that's the Constitution. Falls underneath a few other things too. Of course, I do have an exemption. I'm a vet, so I don't have to pay that. But anyways, they told me that I'd end up getting a fine notice in the mail. I haven't seen one yet, so I'm not going to worry about it. Why worry about something that hasn't occurred? Now, according to Obama, all schools have got to have Common Core in them and have got to allow these things called transgender bathrooms that allows perverts to go into the girls' bathroom or a pervert to go into the boys' bathroom. It doesn't matter which gender we're talking about here. Now it's all schools. And he's also made mandates on a few other things too. You know what? All that's unconstitutional anyways. But you got a lot of perverts out there that are liberal and Democrats communists and socialists that say you got to force people in order to do this, to tolerate the perversion of transgender. Well, according to what I just read, and it comes from the scriptures, it's pretty good knowledge right here. And I'm a pretty good researcher, because, yes, I am a scholar. I got a diploma at home that says so. So I can prove that instantly. That says that when you talk about making a choice, God says it right here. Make that choice. And if you want to go with the government, you're a hypocrite. You're a fool, in other words. You're an idiot, in other words. That's what God is saying to you. It says this, and Jesus knew it, knew their evil intent, said, you hypocrites. Well, I'm saying the same thing to the Democrats, liberals, communists, and socialists. When you say it's freedom and liberty to allow a transgendered person, whether they're male or female, to go in the opposite gender's bathroom to pee so they could look at other people's genitals, you are hypocrites when you say that's freedom and liberty. Matter of fact, that's not freedom and liberty. What you're saying is equality to be equal. That's not equality to be equal, to allow a woman to go in the men's bathroom just to see men pee, or a man to go into a lady's bathroom to see a woman pee. You might just well take off those doors, ladies, because that's exactly what Obama is saying. You're not separate. Take off all those dividers. Let everybody see you sit down on the toilet to pee. And men, let's just take the dividers off that divide the urinals in the men's bathroom and just allow the ladies to watch you pee. They come in. That's what Obama is saying. That's why when you look at and you call this hypocrites, and yes, you are a hypocrite if you say it's okay to be transgendered. And yes, if Caesar makes a rule that says it's okay, then that's what evil's going to do. That's exactly what evil is going to do. And when you take a coin, there's always two sides on that coin. There's a head and a tail. That's a choice that you got to make. If you notice, whenever you flip a coin, you got to make a choice. Or when you cast lots for something, you got to make a choice. God gives you the whole, He tells you throughout all scriptures, every word in scripture, every single word talks about making a choice, with the exception of Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. There's a reason why. Sin has not entered into the world. Once sin entered into the world from Genesis chapter 3 to 2016, you have to make a choice. You have to choose good or evil. And so far, you got the liberals claiming, well, it's okay to choose evil because that is your equality right there, to choose evil. To choose the things that are against God. That's what Hillary Clinton told us. Look at this. I'm going to give you an example of choosing evil. Everybody knows about Bill Clinton and his adulterous schemes. We also know about Bill Clinton committing rape. We also know about Hillary Clinton on a few occasions committed adultery. This is what the liberals say. Well, seeing that he is a man that is in charge of a state or of the United States of America, we'll just overlook these charges. We will not charge him with rape. We will not charge him with groping. We will not charge him with even committing adultery. Believe it or not, in the Constitution it says it this way.